Hi Aries, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the heart. So this is your November 2017 Love Gypsy Tarot spread. So I'm not doing singles and couples separately because I'm really busy with personals and trying to prepare the 2018 live spread readings for everyone, for all of the signs. So it's quite a busy time at the moment to be putting out loads of stuff on YouTube, but I'm going to be putting, God, what's that? What flipped out? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I think it might have flipped out for me. Two of Swords reversed. Make a decision and fucking stick to it. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Got your generals coming up as well, though. And if I've got any time mid-month, I will definitely do a mid-month reading for each of the signs as well. Just to say a shout out, I don't know whether you're watching or not, Tyler Tarot. Love your channel, always watching. I think you're great. Thanks ever so much for the shout out you gave to me on my channel a few weeks back. I really do appreciate that, darling. Love your work. Thank you. If you guys haven't checked out Tyler's Tarot yet, Aries, he's a Aries himself. He's absolutely phenomenal, and he's really funny. I'm not surprised he's on over 50,000 subscribers, because I think that on YouTube people tend to gravitate towards people who have got real personality as well. It's all very well and good to read tarot, but you've got to have that personality that attracts people to the channel as well, and he's got it in bucket loads. He's beautiful, he's so funny, he's great. Just check the guy's channel out, he's hilarious. Sorry, I was thinking back to a reading he did this week. I watch all of the readings. I don't just watch for Scorpio, because to be honest with you, Scorpio readings don't really refer to me. But you watch him in action. He's actually, I watched one video. He was cussing somebody out, and it was I was in stitches. Hilarious. He's really funny. He's got a great personality. Lovely guy. So check him out on YouTube. He's really good. Okay, sorry. Sometimes when I think about something funny, it just makes me laugh. I hope I don't laugh through this reading. Okay, guys, let's have a look at what's coming in for you guys for Aries. Okay, Universe Spirit, what's coming in for Aries? I'll probably give him a shout out on the general reading as well, just in case he doesn't watch this one. So, Universe Spirit, what's coming in for Aries, Sun and Rising signs? Aries, Sun and Rising signs. Aries, Sun and Rising signs in terms of their love lives in November 2017. What's coming in for Aries, Sun and Rising signs? Aries, Sun and Rising signs. Aries, Sun and Rising signs for the month of November 2017. I want to have a look at love, please. Show me in a 21 card Gypsy Tarot spread. Show me. Okay. Let's split the deck into three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Wow, that ended up again. That weren't for me. That was definitely for you guys, without a shadow of a doubt. It's just ended up as being the absolute cards showing up. I think you're definitely making some. The energies around you, Aries, there's definitely making some form of a decision. Two of Swords in the reverse often means that you come to a final conclusion on something. It might be, I feel, with this High Priestess. High Priestesses in readings, in love readings, yeah, they can talk about hidden knowledge, secrets, that type of thing. But also High Priestesses show it when people are holding back and they are becoming more aloof. The Two of Pentacles shows up here. Now, the Two of Pentacles in love can often mean that somebody is weighing up two people. It can mean that simply somebody needs to weigh a situation up. So I get the impression you're making a decision, a definite decision, maybe to hold. The energies are, I feel, making a definite decision to hold back with the High Priestess whilst you whilst you contemplate what to do on a situation, or it might be you're contemplating a couple of people here. High Priestess is when they show up, they're people. They're all the tarot cards really, except for the cards, and even the cards with no one on the card, like the Eight of Wands for example, doesn't show a person, but it can show somebody in flight, or somebody who's losing something, releasing feelings for example is the Eight of Wands, or somebody who's all over the place. And it's no different for something like the High Priestess. This often shows us somebody who's distant or aloof, or they're hiding something, or they're mysterious. There's all sorts of things. High Priestess can be somebody who sits in front of a TV watching dinner, contemplating a situation. She's a passive card, she makes no movement, so this is why she can show up as somebody sometimes who's waiting for love to come in, but she's not making any effort to do anything about it. I often read her as being a very aloof character within the tarot, so I feel that you're making a decision to hold back or to maintain a silence here while you work out what to do potentially within a situation, Aries. Let's have a look at what's going on around the mental and emotional. Well, the situation is about the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, I love it when she's in the upright for love, because in the reverse this person cuts people out, but she harbours a lot of angry feelings in the reverse, so she can be quite vindictive in the reverse, or you know, she can be somebody who wishes ill on someone, or speaks badly of someone, or gossips behind somebody's back. In the upright she's all about justice, because she is represented by Libra, so this is about making a very conscious decision, a very logical decision, and saying, right, okay, I'm not going to make this about my feelings, I want to make this about what the logical steps are I need to take in a situation. She's one of the decision makers within the tarot, so I feel the situation is about making a very fair, just, balanced decision, possibly to cut somebody out with that Queen of Swords. Around that, mentally and emotionally, how are you feeling? The Five of Swords. Now the Five of Swords is difficult in terms of feelings, because if the situation is somebody cuts you out with this Queen of Swords, Aries, then mentally and emotionally, the Five of Swords, you can be two people, usually on the Rider-Waite. This card doesn't, and I always go, I like cards with pictures. I mean real pictures on them. I mean, this is great, the Witch's Tarot. I just don't like the way some of the pictures are, because I can't see faces on the Five of Swords. Okay, you've got five angels here, or five whatever they are with wings, flying around, and you know, there's a battle commencing here somewhere along the line, but it doesn't really explain to me what's going on, so I often revert back to the Rider-Waite figures. And the Five of Swords is often where there's one person who has power over two others. So with the Five of Swords, there's a feeling you can either feel like the defeated, or you can feel like the victor. It depends. Now, if somebody's cutting you out mentally and emotionally, you might be feeling slightly defeated. You might be feeling, it's especially mentally, a sense of, how can I explain it, a sense of insecurity, and a sense of feeling like a failure or down on yourself. If you are the one in this situation that's cut somebody out here, Aries, you'll be feeling like the third person. You'll be feeling like you're on higher ground. You'll be feeling like you've got the better of an individual. Because the Five of Swords really is a card about winners and losers. And usually the third swordsman feels that it's a futile victory, but they feel quite smug because they have power over a couple of other people. So you'll either be feeling, it depends on what the situation is. If you've cut somebody out here, you're feeling great with that Five of Swords energy. You feel that you've got your power back. If somebody's cut you out, being the situation with the Queen of Swords, then you might be feeling a little bit deflated with this Five of Swords energy. And what's the reason for that? Because of the Moon card. There might have been a secret here, for example, happening. I think that if somebody's cut you out, and around that your feelings are of deflation with that Five of Swords energy, it might be because you haven't got the pure truth in the situation with that Moon card showing in the upright. Moons usually show that there are still factors in a situation that are uncovered, that they are not out in the light, they're not out in the open. It represents secrets. Okay, it might be if you've cut somebody out here and you're feeling really rather good about it with that Five of Swords, like you've finally got the upper hand, it might be because the person held a secret from you with that Moon energy showing there. Let's have a look at what's going on around the present situation. Well, the Sun, so that's not too bad. Maybe you're the person that's cut somebody out here then, Aries. I hope I didn't call you Libra for some reason. Aries. So the Sun card is all about happiness, vitality, success, health, good new beginnings, positivity. Around that, mentally and emotionally, it can also be a Leo person. Around that, what's going on in the present? The Three of Cups. So this could be around, in your present, around this happiness, you might be dealing with friendships, good partnerships, good agreements. It doesn't always mean love. The Three of Cups is more of a friendship card. So you might be dealing with some very good friends. And what's the reason for that Three of Cups? Well, the shadow side in reverse. I think you guys have cut somebody out here because they held secrets back from you. And this is why you've made a definite decision here to stay away, to remain aloof from an individual while you work out your next step, maybe with that Two of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, I think that you've decided to remain aloof from an individual, because I read the tarot in terms of keywords, but also, as every tarot reader does, you read it on what you feel and what you see on the cards. So the situation is good in the present, the Sun energy. Around that goodness, you've got friends, the Three of Cups. And why is that? You're also probably making other connections with that Three of Cups, because you've finally released somebody who I feel was holding a secret from you here, and you've done it here. You're feeling very powerful here. Situation is about the Queen of Swords. This is you guys, I feel, your energy. You've cut someone out, and you did it in the best possible way. You did it with an air of justification. You didn't do it in, I don't think you did it in absolute anger. I think that you came to a conclusion with the Queen of Swords, because in the upright, she's not an angry card at all. She's someone who's really, really smart. She's a lawyer, she's a professional, and in the reverse, she's angry, the worst side of herself. In the upright, she'll make decisions that need to be made. She will cut people out if she has to cut them out. She'll turn her back, but at the same time, she will do it in the best possible taste. And around that, you are feeling empowered with the Five of Swords. And that's because of the Moon card. I think that it's not only that somebody held a secret from you, it's also because you were feeling rather confused and possibly quite anxious, because the Moon card means confusion and anxiety. So I feel that you're feeling empowered because you were feeling really anxious around an individual with this Moon energy. And around the present, feeling the situation is all good. A lot of positive vibes. What's those positive vibes about? The Three of Cups, friendships, new connections, because you've released a situation here with the shadow side. That's the Devil in reverse. Around your hopes, well, the situation is the Nine of Pentacles, so you don't want to be single anymore. You'd like to commit to someone. You're ready to commit to someone, Aries, with this Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. This is the situation, so it's about committing to someone now. And around that, what are your hopes? The Ace of Cups in the reverse. Well, the Ace of Cups in the reverse is, you know, we wouldn't hope for an Ace of Cups in the reverse. So the only thing that I can think of with this card is all about healing. All right, you know, the Ace of Cups in the reverse is about emotional drainage. All right, because I think that the situation is about committing to someone now. Not being single, not being so independent with that Nine of Pentacles in the reverse here. But around that, what is it that's coming in around that? Situation as a hope? How's this manifesting as a hope? I feel that your hopes are really to shed yourself of something here with the Ace of Cups in the reverse, because I can't see that you're wanting to give love, or you're even wanting a new relationship. I think you're, and it's, you know, it might be that you're hoping not to get into anything too quickly with this Ace of Cups in the reverse, because you don't have anything to give emotionally when that cup is reversed. So this might be to pour out every single last content of the last relationship that you had, and you do have friendships and connections going on here. And what is the reason for that Ace of Cups in the reverse? Well, it's because of a liar and a deceiver, unfortunately, King of Pentacles in the reverse. I think it's because of this person here, and I think this person did have an effect on you. And if you look here, you've got the reason for you guys feeling empowered is because you didn't feel empowered at one time. You felt very confused, very low, very exhausted, very anxiety induced with this Moon card, and finally you seem to have got your mojo back here, Aries. And also in the present, things are good, the Sun. And around that, why are things are good? Because you got good friendships, good connections around you with the Three of Cups. And that's because finally you've released an individual here that was no good for you. You've released a very toxic situation with that shadow side. And the situation around your hopes is about being so the situation is about being in a commitment with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. But around that idea of a commitment, you guys aren't into it. You're hoping really just to, you know, I think it's also, I feel with this Ace of Cups in the reverse, if there is anything about not, I mean, the Ace of the Nine of Pentacles isn't really for me about commitment per se. When it's in the reverse, it's about coming out of a time of being lonely. So when you come out of a time of being lonely, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be committing to someone. It just means, well, I might go on a few dates. You know, I might not just focus on work or focus on my home or focus on the things that I've got to do. I might go on a few dates and see how things go. So your hopes, the situation is around not sort of spending so much time by oneself or with one's friends. But the situation revolves around coming out of that energy of being completely single. And around that energy, the hopes of the Ace of Cups in the reverse. And this, I feel, is not to give everything to a situation or a person. I feel when I look at this reverse card, it's about perhaps not investing emotionally in a situation here, but I feel it's because of a King of Pentacles, and this isn't you, because I don't see, I mean, it might be, you might become quite self-centered with that King of Pentacles in the reverse, and there'd be nothing wrong with that at all, Aries, because sometimes when somebody has hurt you in a great deal, it might be that, and I've certainly experienced it in relationship, when somebody's hurt you to such an extent, and I think that somebody did slightly, for some of you guys, Aries, traumatise you, even because your empowerment, because of this moon card. So this is anxiety and this is empowerment if you're the third swordsman. This is happiness and agreement, and this is releasing toxicity in relationships. So there's happiness and friendships here because you've released something here. So it's almost like you had a very controlling individual around you guys, and finally you've got rid of the energy of that individual. And it might be, yeah, situation is Nine of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, situation is about not being so much on my own, not being so much, you know, standing in my own power as a single individual, but maybe just coming out of that gradually with this Nine of Pentacles reverse, opening myself up to the possibilities of dating again, that type of thing. But around that, my hopes would be, well, I don't really want to invest in anything sort of love-centered at the moment, because it could be for some of you guys, I'm going to be a little bit self-centered at the moment with this King of Pentacles showing in the reverse, or it might be because there was a King of Pentacles who made you feel like this, and this is why you had to release this with the Devil. Let's have a look at what your expectations are. Well, the situation is around the Fool in the reverse, and this is the situation about being cautious. And again, I think that these link up very well together, this Ace of Cups in the reverse, where you're not looking to invest emotionally in a situation here. Okay, and this again would link up with this, because this is somebody who's once bitten, twice shy. Fool in the reverse, very, very cautious. And around that cautiousness, you're expecting what? The Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. You're not expecting to start anything with anyone, not really, because the Ace of Wands in the reverse often represents something that comes in quickly but then blows out quickly, or it represents something that's a non-starter. So this can be a failed project, for example. So the situation is about being cautious around your expectations, and around that situation of being cautious, you're expecting not really to get relationships or passion or love off the ground with this Ace of Wands in the reverse. And what's the reason for that? I think you're being very cautious. Knight of Pentacles again is a very cautious card. I think that you're taking things one step at a time with that Knight of Pentacles. I think that you're moving very, very, very slowly. You guys seem to have been bitten in the ass, or on the ass, by an individual here, and it's almost made you guys really kind of think long and hard. You've definitely, for me, it's a once bitten, twice shy situation going on with you, Aries. You're really, really cautious here, really cautious. You ain't willing to jump into nothing with no one real quick at all, and that's why you've made a decision, possibly even to stay single with that High Priestess, whilst you kind of balance out or get some more balance or harmony inside of your life again with that Two of Pentacles. And this is why these energies were showing up here. I'm seeing November for you guys. You're really not looking to jump into nothing with no one. You've got dates, you're ready to kind of start seeing people, but you just want to have some fun, I feel here. Coming in the hidden factors, what's showing up for you guys? Well, there's a King of Swords in the reverse. Be careful of this dude. Liar, deceiver, somebody who speaks words of greatness and loveliness, but the whole point is to manipulate, and they've got their own agenda. So I think there's somebody around you. The situation is about a King of Swords in the reverse, somebody who deceives through words and actions. And around that, what's coming in? Temperance. That's interesting. So the situation is about somebody who lies for a living, probably. They're quite deceptive. Around this deceptive person, what you'll experience coming in is temperance. Okay, now temperance is about working out or making an adjustment around a situation. Can be also reconciliation. What's the reason for temperance though? Because of a commitment. High Priest. Could read this in a multitude of ways. Remember, the tarot is not set in stone. You can't just put one word, two words on the cards. It's not fair. There's all sorts of ways we could look at this. The situation in the hidden fact is it could simply be that this was the person here. I think that the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords are one and the same individual. Situation could be that there was someone here, self-serving dude, somebody who speaks words of loveliness, but it's all about their own intentions and their own agenda, what they want for themselves basically. And around that, what might be coming in is that you are healing over this individual, this temperance energy. And what's the reason for that? Temperance is also about healing. Because of the high priest, could be a Taurus person, but it could also be because you're standing in your own morals, your own values, and you have a strong moralistic code going on with yourself. You've got a very strong set of beliefs with that high priest energy. Could read it that way. So this might not be that there's somebody around you coming in like this, or you're even reconnecting with whoever this individual is. If you are, then this person, the situation is about somebody who's deceiving you through words and actions. And around that, some of you guys might experience around this King of Swords a reconnection, a reconciliation. Possibly you're still committed to this individual with the high priest energy. Okay, some of you it could be that, but also it could be that you are healing. Temperance is a healing card, especially if this person's in your thoughts, because this is sometimes the thought area along the top here. But you're healing around this because you are standing strong and firm in your beliefs with that high priest energy showing there. The immediate future shows 10 of Cups. Happiness abounds for you guys. Emotional contentment, friends, family. Could be somebody new perhaps. Around that, what are you seeing coming in? 7 of Cups. Choices. Okay, so there's a happy scene here. Happiness, fulfillment, contentment. And around that happiness, fulfillment, contentment is about the choices that you're looking to make now with the 7 of Cups. And what's the reason for that? There you go. Rebirth, karma. I don't always read the karma card stroke judgment card as reconnecting with an individual. It isn't always that. Sometimes it is, but sometimes this is about somebody who's literally feeling born again. I do feel that you guys are feeling born again with this karma card showing up here. For some of you guys, it could literally be reconnection though, because you've got the 10 of Cups. This is soulmate shit sometimes when you look at the 10 of Cups, and around that soulmate relationship you might have a choice, and that choice might be on whether you reconnect with someone, especially if this is about reconnecting with the King of Swords in the reverse. For some of you, if it's peace that you're achieving through your own values of the Hierophant, it might be here that you are just feeling really happy. The situation is just great happiness with that 10 of Cups. Okay, and around that great happiness, it's about the choices that you're making now. And what's the reason for that? Because you are feeling reborn. So you might see new options coming in, feeling more ready to go with those things. The overall outcome shows the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. This is about coming out of the cold though. Somebody wants to be let in out of the cold. Somebody wants to return. What's the situation around that 5 of Pentacles? The 6 of Swords. Somebody might have had a change of heart on a situation. I often read 6 of Swords in the reverse about somebody having a change of heart on a situation because they're returning, you see. This is often somebody returning to make an apology. I would have expected that, but this is about... It depends, really, because I want to see what the bottom card is. The Star. I mean, for some of you guys, it could be. I mean, I suppose we could always read this 6. Usually this is moving on. The situation would be around moving on. You got a 5 of Pentacles showing up as the overall outcome, the situation. 5 of Pentacles reverse usually means... For some of you guys, it might be coming out of an unstable period within your life, I suppose we could read that as. Because around that, you guys moving on. Better days ahead with the Star energy showing up for you. Aries. Okay, 5 of Pentacles, yes, it does refer to somebody wanting to come back out in the card, especially if there's been rejection. But also 5 of Pentacles represents feeling unstable as well. Okay, just feeling rejected, feeling unstable within the self. So I could also perhaps look at this 5 of Pentacles and say that it's more than likely going to be for you guys. That there's 2 ways I could look at this reading. We'll go through it 2 ways anyway. I could say for you guys, Aries, that this is either you guys starting to feel more stable within the self, 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, and around that it means that you guys are moving on. The overall outcome, you're moving on with that 6 of Swords. Why is that? Because you're healing with the Star energy. Okay, and for some of you it might be different. We'll get the reading again. I think you guys have make a definite decision here, and this is to, with this High Priestess, to block somebody out. She's also a blockage card, the way that I read her, because she's aloof and she doesn't speak and she's very passive. So she'll often show up when somebody doesn't want to, they don't want to contact you, they don't want to communicate with you, they're just passive. So I think you're making a decision to remain passive in a situation, possibly while you try and readdress some balances that you need to readdress in terms of your own life. Some of you guys, you might be making a different a decision here, definite decision to again remain passive, aloof, to detach yourself emotionally from a situation while you try and weigh it up, make some form of decision. And I think the second line is if somebody's returning to you here, Aries. I think you've cut somebody out. Situation is Queen of Swords. So you're studying your mental power and made a very decisive, intelligent decision with the Queen of Swords energy being the situation. And around that mentally and emotionally, I feel that you feel a sense of empowerment with that Five of Swords. And that's because of the moon. Some of you guys might have been feeling very, very anxious, very blurry, very confused concerning a situation. In your present, everything's good. Things are looking really good for Aries with the sun energy as the situation. Because around that, what is it that's making you feel good? Friendships, connections with others. The Three of Cups. And why is that? Because you are releasing a very toxic situation with that shadow side in the reverse, which is the Devil card and the Rider-Waite. Around the hopes and desires, well, the situation is about not being so much on your own and possibly letting down that guard, because remember the Nine of Pentacles is all about the gilded cage as well. You can be happy on your own with the Nine of Pentacles, but also the Nine of Pentacles can be a negative card, and that's in the upright, okay, because this can suggest that you're in a gilded cage. Okay, and you've got all of the nice sort of paraphernalia and resources and materials and clothing and money and nice food and all of that good stuff around you, but we all know that money doesn't always make a person happy. So this is why it's, but you know, this is somebody who's sometimes trapped by their own success. Okay, so some of you guys probably want to come out of kind of the little bit of the gilded cage situation with that Nine of Pentacles, but around that the hopes are not to invest emotionally in a situation with anyone. For some of you Aries with that Ace of Cups, and that's because some of you guys will feel the need to remain quite self-centered, which is a good thing. When you get cards reversed, it depends what they blend with. So if they blend with certain cards, it doesn't always make them bad. And this is a good card for focusing on yourself, your money, your work, your career, your future, with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, because you're deciding, you know, fuck it, I'm not going to be focusing on anybody else, I'm focusing on me. So some of you guys might be doing this here. For some of you guys, your hopes will be not to invest emotionally in a situation because there was someone that did you wrong, man. The King of Pentacles reverse. So this guy was self-serving, very King of Pentacles in the reverse is me. He's the type of person that's only focused on himself. So for example, King of Pentacles is all about pleasure as well. Okay, so he likes meat and wine and women and song and sex and all of those earthly pleasures. But when you get the King of Pentacles in the reverse, this is somebody who focuses on earthly pleasures, but they don't really give a shit about kind of extending those earthly pleasures a long time. So they're kind of like a one-hit wonder with different people, and they don't really want to stick about. So some of you guys, it might be that you were dealing with such a person like this, or it's all about you guys becoming more self-centered about yourself, which is not a bad thing at all. Around your expectations, well, again, we've got the situation being the Fool in the reverse. So the situation is about being very, very cautious about jumping into anything with anyone, Aries. And around that cautiousness, what you're expecting is things will not be starting off. So whatever sparks of attraction you have to anyone, whatever potential there is to start anything with anyone, it's not going to get off the ground with this Ace of Wands in the reverse. And that's because you're taking your time with the Knight of Pentacles energy. You're taking things one step at a time, and you're not willing to rush into anything with anyone. In your hidden factors, it's showing a King of Swords. This is where it gets tricky. For some of you guys, it might be just the thought of this person, King of Swords reverse, a liar, a deceiver, manipulator through words and actions. Around that King of Swords, it might be you guys, you'll find coming in real healing with the Temperance card. So much so, with when you get the Temperance card, this is also about tempering your feelings. So it might be a case of that you guys are starting to feel rather, what's the word that I'm looking for? What's the worst thing that people hate? They hate indifference. So I see the Temperance card as an indifference. She's like the High Priestess. High Priestess is also indifference. So you guys will start to feel quite indifferent, or you'll just start to heal on the situation because you are sitting in your self-belief. You're a strong believer in your strong moral ethics and codes, and this is what's helping you to heal on this person. For some of you guys, it could be literally the situation will be about a deceiver coming back in here, and around that deceiver, well, what is it they want? They want to reconcile. Why is that? Might be because they want to commit now, High Priestess or High Priest, sorry. in the immediate future, if you're going to be reconnecting with an individual here in the hidden factors, it might be that in the immediate future the situation is about togetherness, love, emotional content with this individual. But around that energy, the situation will be coming in, you'll have a choice. And what will that choice be on? Whether you're going to re-energize the relationship again, whether you're going to renew the relationship with the karma card. For some of you guys, if this is healing over this individual through your own belief system of the High Priest, it'll be happiness with family, friends, whoever it is with that Ten of Cups. And around that happiness, it's options coming in with the Seven of Cups, choices being made. And why is that? Because you're looking to create big changes within your life with the karma energy. You're looking to completely rejuvenate yourself, relieve yourself of the energies of whoever this person was. The overall outcome will be, if you're connecting with an individual here and you're making a choice, whether you want to re-energize the relationship again, I think the overall outcome will be, well, the situation's back on. Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, and around that, possibly moving. Now, Six of Swords isn't always about, we've got to be careful with tarot, because you can't, as I always say, the way that I do tarot, I look at try and look at as many meanings as I can. Six of Swords shows progress. Okay, so this isn't just about moving on, this is also about progress. So around this U-turn of the Five of Pentacles, no more rejection coming in from the cold, relationship returning, Five of Pentacles reversed. Around that, what we're seeing is progress with the Six of Swords. And what's that reason for that? Well, because of the star, there's hope for the future. If that, and the star is also this King of Swords, so it might be an Aquarius that you're dealing with here as well. The alternative is, if you are healing over this individual, you're looking at new choices for love, that type of thing, because you're looking for changes, you're feeling rejuvenated, happy, clearer. It might be the overall outcome is you guys are no longer feeling rejected. Now you are starting to stabilize yourself with this Five of Pentacles reverse. And how's that happening? Well, you're moving on clearer, got clearer head, you got a clearer perspective. And why is that? Because of the star. You might just have something else that you're looking forward to. New renewed hope, renewed faith with the star energy. Very, very good reading indeed. The ball is definitely, I feel, Aries, in your court for November 2017. Let's get the advice reading on this card. Universe Spirit, what is the advice that you have for Aries on this reading? What is the advice that you have for Aries on this reading? Show me. It says, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. It's not necessarily, if this is someone, it might not be telling you to make the effort with them necessarily. It's just saying make the effort, because great love is worth taking the steps. If you want to find great love, I feel that eventually, you lot have shown up as being really cautious. I mean, really cautious. And then you suddenly seem to let down your barrier. And if you are releasing someone here, Aries, I really feel that you're starting to, because I'm seeing within the reading that it starts off as you guys being really, really cautious. I mean, you're starting to make slow baby steps out. Slow baby steps, you know, wanting to come out of the gilded cage a little bit with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. But around that, the hopes are not to emotionally invest, because you're quite self-centered at the moment. You're only focusing on yourself, the King of Pentacles reversed energy, or because somebody was a bit of a bastard with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, you know, and your expectations, being all cautious with that Fool energy being the situation around that. The expectations are you won't be starting any great passions of a lifetime, because you're being very cautious, very, very careful with that Knight of Pentacles, taking things one step at a time, Aries. And gradually what we start to see is, oh, suddenly Ten of Cups, happiness situation in the immediate future, happiness, emotional contentment. Around that, starting to lighten up a little bit, looking at your choices, because, you know, you're starting to feel a little bit easier, a little bit lighter with the karma, looking for changes, rebirth. Eventually, overall outcome for some of you guys, not feeling so left out in the cold, so depressed maybe, or so ill with that Five of Pentacles showing now in the reverse, because around that, moving on, clearer waters, because of the star, renewed faith and hope in the future. So things gradually start to lighten up on the reading, Aries. They gradually go from you being very cautious to being very, very light. So really the angels are saying, you know what, here the energies around you making a definite decision, possibly just to, you know, hold yourself back. Some of you guys it's a decision, some of you guys it's because you need to balance out your life, you need to get your stability and your you know, you need to get your footing back with that Two of Pentacles energy. But gradually I'm seeing the energies lighten in November 2017, Aries. And I feel that the angels are saying, make the effort. As soon as you feel ready. For those of you it responds to in terms of letting go of an individual and moving forward, then really the card is saying, you know, just make the effort. Take this great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So it's not saying that you have to go and look out for love. It's just saying that really I feel with the universe is saying that as soon as you're ready, and I'm seeing at first you're not quite ready, you're taking little baby steps. It's just like a little puppy that's been beaten and he goes to a new home and he kind of, they say, come here Rover, and he's like and then takes little steps. It's all about building trust again. I think the overall view of this reading is about building trust for Aries. Okay, so I'm seeing you guys trying to build your trust up again around individuals, around people, because you've been deeply hurt by an individual, but you're very empowered. Very, very excellent reading, and just go with the flow. I think make the effort is just saying when you're ready, Aries, just take those steps that you are being guided to take. I think it's the best reading I've done so far for the signs, Aries, for November and love. It's lovely. You just look so in control. So in control here. Beautiful, beautiful reading. Really lovely. Enjoyed that. Okay, that's your reading, Aries. I would like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and I will see you guys for your general readings. I'll try and be about mid-month. I'll see what happens. Love you guys loads. Take care, bubs. Bye-bye.